Hi everyone, it's Emily here from the Tran podcast. Welcome to episode 2. In this episode, we talk about the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was suggested by Alex, and we all had some different takes on it. And if you haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, I'd recommend watching it before listening to this. But if you don't want to, that's also fine. Don't worry about it. I also apologize for the slight audio issues of this episode. Matt's microphone was a bit quiet and my microphone was a bit too loud. I'll sort that out for the next episode and I'll not talk so close to the fucking mic. Anyway, enjoy the second episode of the Tran Gang podcast and remember to wash your hands. Okay, KK, play me another sick beat.
When you write a word on a piece of paper with a pencil, and then you rub it out with an eraser.
We're recording, by the way.
Go?
Well, let's do that again. Do that again. Do that again.
What?
Say it again. Sorry, I interrupted.
It's again.
Say the thing again.
The thing
What's
again.
Your philosophical question?
Say your Natalie.
Shut up. My philosophical question for you is: if you write a word on a piece of paper with a pencil and then rub out the word with an eraser, where does the word go?
Hell. Yeah.
Hell.
It goes to hell.
That's the sort, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
once you rub it out, that's it. Hell.
That's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Hell.
Satan's like, I just received this message. It says pee poo.
Pee-poo.
It says pee poo.
That's how you send a message to Satan. actually,
Yeah.
It's a little known fact, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. How's the gang doing? Gamers.
We are on
Tired.
day 176 of quarantine.
Yeah,
I
no.
am slowly going insane.
Quarantine, yeah. Yeah.
We're in team.
Yeah. I
Just
gotta
stop
force
calling
that
it
title
quarantine.
in somewhere. That's the title I want for this episode, but
We're in team.
Quarantine?
Transgenders
Who's
in
in
quarantine?
team?
Ah!
Quarantine? Transgender triggered by film?
Question mark? Wait, hang on. Is Rocky Horror Picture Show problematic? Screaming emoji?
That's the movie this
Question
week, everyone. I probably said it in or whoever recorded the introduction bit, but that's the movie this week, Rocky Horror. And,
Sorry, my mum came into the room, you know how it is.
Oh yeah, how's she doing? How's she doing? Aye, how's she
I
doing?
think she's doing okay. She's
Aye.
just been working and stuff.
Aye, alright. Well, that's good. Well, we should get her on the podcast at some point.
Get my mum on the podcast.
Yeah, no, the
I'm back.
first
It's
You
guest.
guys
Okay.
talk about. I have no idea what just happened.
No!
You either.
My brain feels like liquid.
God.
Not gonna lie.
I'm having a liquid brain day
Spooky
too.
times.
Yeah, I haven't slept properly in 2 days, so I have liquid brain. You know.
I mean, your brain could actually be liquid. Like, have you seen your brain? Can you verify that it is in fact a solid? Really?
That's
Did
the
not go looking out
that's
your
the
ear.
title.
Nah, that's not how. That's not how.
Liquid brain.
My brain's
You've
gas.
got, like, you have like
Eli's
valves in your
brain
ears.
Liquid?
Eli's brain is liquid.
What if your brain was like a gas?
Eli gets diagnosed with liquid brain.
That's
that's
brilliant. No,
the
that's
title.
good. No,
That's the
then we have
title.
like Eli doing a shocked face, and
In
then
brackets, not clickbait.
yeah.
And it's just like.
with like an arrow pointing into his,
Yeah.
and then like a screaming emoji next to it.
And there's like there's an emoji with the thermometer in the mouth, and also
Oh, yeah, that's a
the
great
vomiting
idea, yeah.
emoji. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
then like the biohazard emoji too.
That's brilliant.
You're right.
I feel like liquid brain should like supplant smooth brain in.
Yeah,
oh
no.
no, do you know what we
Yes.
want on the thing? We need the
It's less
you know,
problematic.
the picture of Rona that you've got, the one where it's I don't know what it's called. But you've got a on the Uwu chat.
Okay, we're going deep level.
There's a thing, and it's solar coronavirus. That, and it says that, and it's a big butt.
Oh right. Oh yeah. No. Right.
I thought
That's
Alex
like
was having a
that's
liquid brain
rule
moment.
34.
Oh no.
That's Rule 34 COVID-19. Okay,
I'm
where
not
is that?
joking.
It's in the
It's
cum
on-
zone, isn't it?
yeah,
Cum zone for the
pretty
cum
sure.
zone.
Yeah.
It's like a really
Yeah,
bad
it's in
Spanish
cum
pun because
zone.
it says coronavirus, which is like a pun on the word for bum, and it's like
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's really fun.
How have y'all been doing? What you been up to? What media you been consuming? Oh,
Basically, all I've done for the last sort of week is watch Glee and eat crisps.
yeah, that's
Wow.
fair. That's fair. That's very valid.
That's valid.
It's been
I
great.
Yeah.
I rewatched the whole of Friday Night Dinner, and
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been watching TikToks, and yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
pretty
good.
much
Yeah, that's
my
good.
life.
Yeah, like an e-boy,
Yeah,
like
I'm
an
becoming
e-boy.
I'm slowly becoming more and more of an e-boy. It's what's
Scary.
happening now.
All I've been
Scary.
watching is Unasanis.
Same, I've been watching Unasanis too.
Yeah,
Unasanis is good.
Unasanis.
That feels like it's Latin for one bottom, but I know it isn't.
I've been having a very specific routine actually, and
Really?
I'd like to go through it.
Oh, okay.
So I wake up in the morning, and
Right.
by the morning I mean 2 o'clock or 12. 12 to 2
You
o'clock
wake
is
up
the
in
waking.
the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, exactly. And then I walk about the house with no direction, just thinking. Then I meditate for a few hours, play some Smash Brothers with my sister, just have an edible, and then just play Halo till I die, mate. I play Halo till I die. I'll be playing Halo till I die.
That sounds like a good time.
I'll be playing Halo till I die, inject into my veins. I love Halo.
Inject
I
I just got shot at Halo, mate.
I love Halo.
Yeah.
You shit
What you
people.
do is you get like the disc and you put it into a blender with some yogurt
Yeah.
and some milk.
Yeah.
And just and
Yep.
then you have liquid Halo. That's how you
Mhm.
make it.
You ready?
Liquid Halo.
I mean, what's the nutrients that are in that, though? I mean, I need to think about that.
How many calories on it?
I'm a
How
growing
many
woman.
calories does liquid Halo have?
How many calories does liquid Halo have?
That feels like a
Ask
vegan
that in
video.
r/gaming.
That's a great idea. That'll go down really well.
The
Oh, yeah,
gang
so
contracts
I-
liquid Halo?
I got Reddit today actually. This morning when I,
great.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
installed Reddit, and I've been collecting memes and just
You're on a
just,
dark
you know,
path.
Yeah, you're on a
Elijah.
dark
Yeah.
path.
You're on a very dark path.
I'm
there,
really
that
just
is-
in it for the memes, but
That's how
I've
it
already seen
starts.
some
That's how
fucked up
this.
stuff and some
Eli's
transphobic
dark
stuff,
path
so
to
that's-
4chan.
This how they get you. They get you the memes, and then before you know it, you're on. You're on.
Eli's dark path to 4chan.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're on.
That's another
Uh,
great
No,
title.
it should be
It is.
Liquid Brain. Dark at the 4chan.
Yeah.
Scary.
It's like one of those YouTube channels that talks about like mysteries and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
4chan or abducted.
Opening dark web mystery box at 3 a.m.
Yeah, no.
Boy abducted.
Yeah, no, I love stuff like that though. I've been watching channels like that.
It's just
like,
a cardboard
every day.
box. It's just a cardboard box filled with like random just Halloween decorations. And
There's-
they're like, oh my god, there's a kitchen knife. Whoa. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that
Did someone die with this by this kitchen knife? Maybe, perhaps.
But yeah, no, I've also been watching Unsolved, which is just
Oh,
brilliant.
hell
It's been
yeah.
Unsolved, absolutely brilliant. This has been one of the
Yeah.
best seasons so far. I think their true crime stuff is a lot better than their supernatural stuff.
Oh, I
in
prefer the
general.
supernatural stuff, cause like, it's just funny.
I don't know.
Nothing ever happens.
I
It's
find it
great.
kind of like I don't know. I find it kind of boring compared to the true crime where you're like, ooh. It's like I mean like you know there's
I
this.
just like to hear them I just like to see them together on screen.
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's
that's
why
fair.
you
Yeah,
should,
no.
They just work really well.
You gotta check out
Yeah.
their other channel, Watcher, because that has more of them doing
do they have another
non-speaky
channel? I
things.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they have their own channel. They make their own videos. They have this one series where they do like a top 5 list of like a thing. So they have like and then they like compare and contrast each other. It's pretty good. It's good.
I
Sounds
need to
really
watch
good.
that then.
Would
Damn, I
recommend.
didn't know.
Yeah, no, they have like one of the best. They have the like Game Grumps style chemistry. Like they have like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
really good
It's
chemistry.
great.
It's brilliant. It's genuinely brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Great review.
I mean, like there was this video by Quentin Reviews where he talks about how documentaries and true crime stuff is often framed in a way that means
Yeah.
that it's like it's trying to make you believe a certain theory.
Oh yeah,
And I
Yeah.
think that the boys avoid that a little bit by going through multiple different theories and then just saying it's unsolved at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely have been more aware of that as I've been like watching these channels on like Reddit mysteries and stuff, that a lot of the stuff probably isn't true, but it's kind of fun to like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's fun
dabble
Yeah.
in it.
entertain
Yeah.
the
Just like afterwards,
it's
you
like
just
we're
go on
in around the
Wikipedia binge.
campfire.
Telling spooky
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no. I mean I love spooky stories. Like I love the feeling of being scared in a safe way. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's brilliant. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of being scared but in a safe way, I watched The Sixth Sense this week.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I was
Hell
like, I'm not gonna
yeah.
watch it. I
Oh, shit.
refuse. I don't like scary things. Nah. And then I made Ryan watch Rocky Horror with me, so he was like, "Right, we'll watch The Sixth Sense." I was like, "Ah,"
Yeah.
and I quite enjoyed it.
Mhm.
It was. I mean, it fucked me up at the end. I'm not gonna, because in case anyone hasn't seen it, but
Yeah,
it did
no.
fuck
Yeah,
me
yeah.
up.
Don't.
But
don't
also-
Haven't
don't-
seen it in a long time.
Spoilers! No.
I will
spoilers.
say
Yeah,
that-
no,
Oh my god, you
spoilers.
just spoiled the Sixth Sense to me. Oh, I am. Oh no.
In my personal opinion, it's the only good M. Night Shyamalan films. The only
my
good, the only
personal
good
opinion.
M. Night Shyamalan films. What? I can't speak today. I've got liquid brain.
Liquid brain.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The
Oh
last
no,
sort of
wait,
5
it's
minutes of
contagious.
conversation.
I'm infecting you guys with my liquid brain. It's
Oh
like
no.
contagious.
It's like chocolate rain, but liquid brain.
Liquid brain.
What were you saying,
The
Alex?
last sort of
Such
like
a
5 minutes of
parody.
conversation, I was like so out of it. I was literally watching Ryan play Minecraft, and I was like,
Damn.
"Fuck, I'm meant to be listening to this, and I'm meant to be contributing, but I literally can't."
Oh my god.
I mean, it's fine. Liquid
S-
brain. It's fine.
Liquid
You
brain,
have
no,
an
it's
excuse.
definitely
You have
liquid
liquid
brain.
brain excuse. You know.
I don't think we got around to you, Natalie. What have you been consuming this week, media-wise?
I haven't been consuming much, but I have been producing.
Oh, you've been
'cause I've
producing.
got
Ooh,
into
that's
drawing
even better.
again
Ooh.
Oh, brilliant.
for the first time in like nearly a decade, probably. And I'm actually quite impressed by how okay I am, actually.
Yeah, that's
I
brilliant.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is there's a technique that you can use for drawing like still life stuff or copying from reference, where you actually turn the image upside down that you're copying. And the reason why it works so well is because like your brain, when it tries to like draw something from reference, is it does what you call symbol drawing, where you'll like look at an eye and you go, okay, that's an eye, it looks like an almond, but it doesn't always look like that because, you know, angles, and that's
Yeah.
an important thing to remember. If you have the image upside down, you're forced to look at the image as if it's just lines, just arbitrary lines, and you just have to
Huh.
copy them down.
Yeah, it's like if you're looking at a still life setup and there's a cup, you're gonna go, okay, that's a cup. I know how to draw that. So
Yeah.
then you just draw a cup without really looking at what you're
Yeah.
looking at.
Yes.
Your brain
So-
is just drawing what it thinks a cup.
Exactly.
looks
So
like.
what I do now is I turn the page upside down and I
Yeah.
draw the cup from the bottom up. And then
Ah.
once I turn it back up, it's
because it's like you're
pretty
not
effective.
drawing it how you would just automatically draw a cup because you're doing it from
Mhm.
the bottom like up and like or like I was gonna say that's why like still life is like a really hard skill to actually nail because you've got to keep looking at the thing you're drawing while also drawing it. So you've got
Yeah.
to make sure that you don't
Yeah.
get ahead of yourself, and you've got to look at directly what the subject matter of what you're drawing is, and you've got to keep looking at it. And if you like stray from that at any point, it can totally mess
Yeah,
with
it's
the actual
tricky.
flow of
Yeah.
the drawing or painting or whatever.
It's even
sort
more
of thing you're
stressful
doing.
if you're using a medium that you can't rub out. So like if you're
Yeah,
just straight
exactly.
in with ink.
Like
Yeah.
when I was at school and like doing art, and it's like, you know, you're working with like acrylic paint, and then like I was like working with like acrylic paint and oil pastels and stuff like that, and it's stuff that it's like it's really hard to cover up your mistakes with that kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
Like it's it's not the easiest thing to do, and still life is, as a skill, like I say, is very like hard. It takes a lot of that time to actually get something accurate and to get something to look
Instead
good. I mean,
of
obviously,
just looking at an orange and being like, yeah, I know.
yeah,
what
that's an orange. I'm gonna pick an orange. I'm gonna pick an orange color, and
Circle.
then that's it. That's
Dot.
it done.
I'll get the orange felt tip pen
Yep,
out.
there we go.
There we go,
Just-
orange. It looks
Draw a
just like
circle,
the rest of it.
orange done. Boom.
Yeah, I know.
Or if
So,
you're feeling fancy, go for some 3D and do a sphere and just be like, that's an orange.
Oh, hell yeah.
one thing that I was going to mention as well is I don't have a mind's eye. I can't visualize things in my head, which makes it a little bit hard for me to draw from memory because I don't have visual memory.
So
But-
I have a tip for you just as
But I can draw from
animator
reference quite well. So
and as an animator and as somebody who draws like trying to draw for a living now, trying.
Yeah.
You should never draw from your mind unless you are doing expressive artwork or artwork that's the point of it is to not
Yeah.
look right. If like you should never ever draw anything without a single reference. You need to get lots of references, as many as possible, because the more references you have, the better the drawing's going to turn out.
That's true. That is completely
Well,
true.
So it's a good
You
little
need
nugget of
to
advice.
feed your brain in so much information to get it to draw something properly. So the more info you can get on what an object looks like or what a pose looks like, the better.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
I'd managed to produce a fairly okay sketch of like a figure standing up. I posted that in
Yeah.
Greeky Gang. I thought it was pretty decent. I was quite impressed with that.
Really good.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Pretty much just that.
And it's also good to bear in mind that like you can only get better with time and like referencing and practicing, and you can only get better from where you are now.
definitely.
And like don't be discouraged if you can't see an improvement in your art straight away, because like I've been drawing for like properly for like 2 years and I've improved a lot, and it's mostly just because I've stuck with it and I've practiced and I've produced a lot of work. But like it's quite easy to get discouraged. Like even now I get discouraged and think my art isn't that great, and then I look back at my past stuff and I'm like, oh honey, no, your art is okay now.
Yeah, no,
Back
definitely.
then, a hot mess. But it's a good thing to bear in mind that it does take time, and not to get discouraged straight away, because
Right.
you definitely have potential, and you need to recognize that potential in yourself and give yourself
Well,
some
anyone
credit
can
where it's
draw.
due.
Yeah, no.
Indeed, anyone can draw.
To quote,
I've been drawing a lot of Pepes. I've got a page filled with like Pepes. Just because I felt like, well, I'll just draw some Pepes. This is just a page of Pepes. It's great.
You've got to reclaim our boy.
Yeah, exactly. We need to make like Pepe with like a milkshake, and he's like got and he's doing the little smug like chin hold thing that he does, and he's like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
To quote Aaron Hansen, I feel like this is the best way to sum this up. Do you think I came out the pussy painting Mozart? And
Mozart basically did.
and
Like when he was 5, he was composing shit. Like, come on, like Mozart was just like that's just God given. Like some people are like that, but they can just go fuck themselves. Honestly, who gives a shit about them? Like,
Fuck Mozart.
like
fuck Mozart.
Everyone's like,
Yes,
oh,
with
he
his
practiced
piano
so
skills
hard.
and-
Like,
and
fucking shut up.
composing skills. Who does he think he is?
Let's get this trending on Twitter. Hashtag fuck Mozart. Hashtag cancel Mozart. Hashtag Mozart is over party. It's gonna be good.
Yes.
It's gonna be good. No, but as well, like I've also kind of recently, like I hadn't even really been drawing as a hobby, and I've just kind of been doing it for fun and to try and like learn a new skill. And it's been a really fun time for me, because I've got to kind of express myself in a way that is very it's you're creating something from nothing, and I love stuff like that. And
yes, no, it's the accomplishment at the end.
Yeah,
even
no,
if you don't
definitely, yeah.
like it, it's like, well,
Yeah.
this thing didn't exist until 2
Yeah,
seconds.
exactly.
Exactly,
and
yeah,
you made
no.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Is that you should
I feel
always
like
be
that's
proud of
what-
you're producing, even if you feel like it's not amazing. Like at least you've created something, you know. At least
Yeah, no,
you're giving it
definitely.
your best shot. That's what it's about. That's what
It's
art
better
is
than
about.
having
You know?
sat and done nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as well, like, it means that, also because I'm kind of in this period where I can just draw whatever I want, I just kind of, like, if there's something I want to draw, I'll just draw it down or whatever. It's been very good for me. Like, I've been doing a lot of, sort of almost art, it's like art therapy in a way where I'm just kind of, like, drawing, emotions and stuff just before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of,
Like event-y type stuff.
yeah, it's like it's a way of venting in an
Yeah.
interesting way. I've been doing a lot of self-care as well. I've been meditating.
That's good.
Yes. You gotta care for yourself during this quarantine, guys.
Yeah, exactly. You should care for yourself all the time anyway.
Yeah, no,
You
definitely. Yeah,
deserve
no.
to look after yourself, you know?
No, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, should we get to the film?
Let's
film.
get to the film. It's film time.
It's film time.
Film.
It's
Woo!
film
Baby.
time! Woo!
Whoa, what film did we watch this week? Question mark.
I mean, I said it at the beginning, so everyone knows.
Well, we're saying it again. We watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
.jpg.
Don't change.
Very good film.
That was the pirated
No, it
file.
wasn't a good. Wait, no.
Yeah.
What, was it a good film? Let's find out. Let's discuss.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Alex, do you want to kind of give a little bit of a summary of the film because you're the one who picked it this week?
I mean, okay, so there are two kind of very normal quote unquote people,
Yeah.
and they end up at this like what looks like a castle, and they kind of go in, and there's all these like really wacky people
Yeah.
that somehow end up being aliens, but no one is quite sure when. And there is basically like a bit of death, a lot of singing, a lot of dancing,
Yeah.
and at the end the sort of main-ish character gets shot, and they go off in their what looks like a castle but is apparently a spaceship off back to transsexual.
Yeah, no, that
Just
is
like
the
Planet.
Indiana Jones and the Kingsman of the Crystal Skull, really. It's yeah,
Yeah,
So
no.
it's a fun
Great,
time
great
then,
film.
like,
Yeah.
great time.
So now I feel like obviously there's going to be some discourse. That
Yeah,
there is.
we're gonna
Yeah.
have to get to the discourse eventually, but because the film is heavily
Yeah.
heavily of its time. I feel like it is the most the most like when I've been watching a film and just went yikes. Like I went
It has
yikes
not aged
multiple
like
times.
a fine wine. It has
Yeah, no,
aged
it
like
has not aged
cheese.
gracefully.
it has.
No.
It's got maggots on it, and, and you're like, oh no.
But the film is, I'll just put my take out there. I really enjoy storytelling in general that is a bit more experimental, and the entire film
Yeah.
is just like a nightmare, and I absolutely love it. Like it's the cinematography, like from that perspective as well. Like you can appreciate a film's cinematography without even talking about like the plot, and the cinematography in this film is kind of, in my opinion, just very good. It's very
agree, actually, yeah.
it's very well choreographed, and it kind of, a lot of musicals, especially ones that are on stage as well, struggle to emulate what the stage was like, but I feel like because the film mostly takes place in kind of one or two areas, it made
Yeah,
the
it does.
film feel very I don't know, it made the film work as well, and there was no like
you kind of don't notice that it takes place in like two areas as well. 'cause
No, you
there's
don't.
shit going on.
yeah, there's so much fucking nonsense. It's just brilliant. But I and also like I as someone who's like a fan of sort of glam rock and also just campy
Yeah.
shit, like I love things that are like filled with camp. This movie is pure camp.
Pure camp.
It is
yeah.
it is just camp. And I feel like that is what's gonna like kind of make it if someone likes it or not in many ways.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much at once. Like, you kind of need to pause to take a breath sometimes.
I feel like
Like,
if you
I've
watch it
said
the first
it
time, I watched it the
before.
first time like years ago, but if I watched it again for the first time, I'd have no idea what was happening.
Yeah,
I had
no.
to read a
I've said
plot
it before,
summary
if
and I'll
you're
just
it's
figure
like,
out what's going on.
It's you need to watch it a couple times to fully take it all in. It's
Mhm.
not a one-time watch. It's you kind of need to watch it a few times to fully understand
Yeah.
everything that's going
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I only watched it once, so this is
I did actually watch it twice.
I watched it
I'm
once.
coming from the view of somebody who's only seen it once and never again.
So I'm actually wondering,
same.
Matt, we haven't really heard much of your take on the film. What did you think of it as someone who doesn't like musicals
So,
that much?
I hate musicals. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
damn.
I'm kind of in this really. I can't decide what I think of it because, like you said, I love that it's a nightmare and you don't know what's going on, and there's all these fucking really freaky people that are scaring the cis hets, and I find that really fun. And I love that. And some of the physical comedy in it is so good and
Yes.
so well choreographed and so well timed.
Yeah.
But of course, I still don't know what happened. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you. I just couldn't
Yeah.
tell you.
And that's why you need to watch it a few times.
I had with the thing of it being like too much all at once. Like
Yeah.
it really was. I need a minute to think about it, but yeah,
If you
like
think-
I skipped through most of the songs. I have to admit, because I could not stand it.
Oh, that's why you didn't understand it then, because like the
songs
the
kinda move
songs
the
usually
plot.
deliver
Explain a lot of the
important
story,
like
yeah.
points in the narrative. And if
Yeah.
you don't hear them, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
The
no,
narrative
in
what
quote
Alex
unquote.
Noise,
explained-
like-
what Alex explained is what I viewed the movie as. Like your summary, I understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still don't quite. I'm like, what?
I love.
It's very kind of chaotic. It's
Yeah.
There
kind of like
was some
what
like
goes on inside my brain every day of my life. And I don't know what's happening, but I'm going with
I
it.
feel that.
Um,
I feel like it is a bit of an insight
yeah.
into inside of my head where everything's just a little bit chaotic and no one quite knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I also think, even though the film is definitely problematic when it comes to LGBT stuff, and we'll get to that in a minute, I do absolutely love Tim Curry's performance. And I absolutely and I'm not gonna lie, I do absolutely love the character of I forgot.
Frankenfurter.
Frankenfurter. Yeah, no, Frankenfurter is fucking brilliant. Like
Yeah.
like
Just
like the
remembered, I have a little story about something that happened to me before I saw the movie. That's really awkward.
Okay,
But,
go.
like
Oh,
really funny, right?
okay.
So one time in college when I was studying art, I went on a date with this guy. and he knew that I was female to male, and like at one point we were looking at games in a CEX or something, and he was like, "Hey, there's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have you seen that?" And I was like, "No, I've not seen it." He's like, "Oh, there's this song in it that reminds me of you."
Oh my
And,
god.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
no.
fucking
Yes.
hell.
Of course it was the first song, Janet.
Yeah.
Very good. When I heard that song, I
Janet,
was like,
Janet.
Matt.
So, and then of course he got it up on YouTube for me.
Oh.
I hear that. And I'm just like, honey, no.
Fucking hell.
That is so cringe.
That is
What's
bad.
wrong with people? Why are people?
I
Can we
don't
just ask the
know,
question
right?
of why are people?
Yeah, why are people?
Obviously, I never saw the man again. I blocked him on everything. I was like, nah.
That's
not
valid.
having it.
Now, okay, I think this kind of comes round to the point. This movie is marketed towards a general audience, and what we talked about last week with Paris is Burning was the idea that drag culture has kind of been more less about queer empowerment now and more about sort of it's for the cis hets a lot of the
Yeah.
time as
Yeah.
well, cis het women in particular. And for a lot of people, and for a lot of trans people, including myself, I didn't know about transgender people for ages, but I did know
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
big scare quotes, transvestites, and
Yeah.
I think that this film, even though it is fun, and from a sort of queer person's perspective, and from someone who loves this sort of thing, and likes sort of that sort of same sort of humor, it's a fun film, but it probably has done a lot more harm than good. And
Definitely.
yeah.
Like what you're saying.
Can I give my sort of perspective? It's that.
Yes.
Okay, so, right, I'm gonna lose friends. Please don't be not friends with me. But as far as I kind of see it, it's not meant to be aimed at Frankenfurter being a trans person. It's meant to be about the camp, and it's not aimed at...
True.
The problem is that that's not how people perceive it.
No.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just giving my perspective. And I mean, again, this is not how people will take it, but it's when he says he's a sweet transvestite or whatever, that's the species, that's the planet. They're not. He doesn't mean it. It's that's how you see it.
But
guess.
I will say this.
That's like the joke, though. Is
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
people are gonna
Yeah.
hear that, and they're not gonna know that it's a planet. But I guess it depends on if you look and immediately go, okay, this person is trans, or if you just
See, I never did.
yeah.
Really.
I feel like a lot of and this is from a sort of trans women perspective, a lot of trans women are kind of haunted by the idea of being associated with that, and a lot of the time I'd say that this film kind of actually goes into some pretty yikesy stereotypes in multiple occasions.
It's a stereotype.
Yeah, no. I would say that
So bad.
one sec, someone's at my door.
Uh-oh.
Well, while somebody is at Emily's door, what I've remembered that I also really need to bring up because it's super important is the hypersexualization.
Yes.
Yes.
And like Tim Curry being like, yeah,
And
dubious consent.
the forcing
there is
oneself
definitely
upon.
It's a very dodgy stereotype, which is
and it's
being
like it's
constructed
played
to
off
a large
as
audience is the
as
problem.
this is a gay man who wants to dress as a woman to trick straight men into sleeping with him. It's kind of saying that.
I would say as
I
well.
do agree.
I would say as well, like it kind of reminds me of the sort of like the whole discourse around heavy content warning, like the idea of the R-Traps gay thing that came around like ages ago, and it's like I feel like this film kind of like if because like also you need to take into consideration, in my personal opinion, every single film and piece of media does not just exist within a vacuum. It like exists every film says something. Societally, I would say this film, I mean, it's just a bit yikes in like multiple areas. Like it kind of paints I think because actually it kind of paints gay men and trans women as predatory if you read it in certain ways.
I mean, she did.
A lot of people already believe that trans women especially are predators, and it's just reinforcing that kind of negative view towards trans women, and it's problematic for that reason because it's basically it's like it's an example that people will use to be transphobic is really where the issue is with that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The thing is that like I know that I decided to read up on some people's opinions before going into this, and making a conclusion about my own. And some people from the time that it was released said that they watched the film and said like and it helps them to understand their identity and stuff. But I cannot understand that point of view because when I look at Frankenfurter, I don't go, "Oh, that's me."
Yeah, no.
Like that's nothing like me. That's as far as you could possibly be from me.
On the big screen at last.
Yeah, but if you think about like the time that it was made and stuff, And like
Yeah,
the
also
amount of sort of quote unquote queer representation, obviously it's not. We
Yes.
can argue that till the
Yeah.
cows come home, whatever. But at the time, like if you think about how fucking out there it was,
Oh
and
yeah,
how
definitely.
like
Yeah.
again, it's the same. It's not the same as Paris is Burning, but it was the fact that it was made kind of made a difference whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I will say, regardless of all of the bad shit that's in it, it is like it's become like a really big part of like queer culture.
It
and
has,
queer
definitely.
history,
Yeah.
and like you have
I just
to...
don't want it to be.
Yeah, no, it's fair. You
Yeah.
don't have
That's
to
fair
want
enough,
it to be.
yeah.
You don't have to be happy with it being that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Like
I mean,
you're entitled to believe that it's not great, and you're
Yeah.
obviously allowed to be like, I don't want that to represent me.
Yeah.
Like I understand
Yeah,
why
fair
you
enough,
wouldn't.
that's
you just
understandable.
Because
want
I
to
can
avoid
understand
the association.
I can understand the association, like what the issues are, and why you wouldn't want to be associated with that type of thing, and why you wouldn't want that to necessarily be viewed as a representation of you, because obviously it doesn't represent you, but
No.
viewed by cis people and het people as a representation of who you are.
And I do have a feeling that a lot of people from that time period, that is how they view trans people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no.
Yeah, and
Oof.
yeah, you're
Like
most
watching
likely
this,
right.
watching it was actually kind of eye-opening in a way, because I was like, I see. This explains the way people are treated, sort
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
no, definitely.
It's not an excuse to for people to treat.
Yeah.
Also, can we
Uh,
address the fact that like the story centers around a person creating a sentient being, not sentient actually, sapient being, for the express purposes of enslaving it and having sex with it? I find that quite abhorrent,
Well,
and I feel like that
I
wasn't
know,
addressed
about the
properly.
like, perverted gay man thing.
Yeah,
who
it's
can't
Yeah.
find a man to love him. So yeah.
Yeah,
he's
no.
making his own
No,
basically.
like
But
I
yeah.
don't find, because I mean, like my main issue that I feel like is attacking me is all this shit about gay men being predators. I watch
Yeah,
that
no.
on
Yeah.
screen and I'm
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
bitch, I'll fight you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
You're
fair enough.
technically-
This is what I keep I keep thinking about it, and that's like I've been wanting to kind of express it for a while, but I've never had like an opportunity to really because it's never really come up in conversation anywhere, but now obviously it has. Is that like anyone can be a predator? Like your gender, your sexuality, your race has nothing to do
Yeah.
with you being a predator. Anyone can be a predator. There will be gay men who are predators. There
but
will
there
be
also
trans
be
people
straight
who
men.
are predators. It's unfortunate, but they don't represent us. They're
No, they
not
don't.
us,
Yeah.
And
Minority.
there will be gay women who are predators. There'll also be there's also like loads of cis people and het people who are predators as well.
Yeah,
It
no,
doesn't.
definitely.
It's not confined to LGBT people at all.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
quite
it's
that's
unfair
quite
to
an obvious
say
thing when you think about it. It's a very obvious thing,
Mhm.
but when people think about LGBT people having like the potential to be predators, they often take that as something that they can use to be transphobic and homophobic and
Mhm.
stuff like that,
Mhm.
rather than being like that's just how some people are, and it's horrible that those people are out there and they're doing what they're doing.
And I will
But-
say this as well, like the sort of the way that in which it has impacted me in a way is there's this whole idea, the whole idea of trans women trapping someone into having sex with them has become so oversaturated in absolutely everything that whenever it's in media, I just think about how harmful it is. And I mean that like
Exactly,
on a
yeah.
personal level as well. Like I've had people who I'm like friends with in cis spaces say things that are just absolutely yikes, but they just don't know that it's yikes because they haven't
Yeah, they think
it's
perfectly okay.
because they haven't had the similar life experience to me, and the media they consume hasn't told them otherwise. It's actually told them
it backs their beliefs.
It does,
So
yeah.
They see that and it empowers them more. Somebody a lot of the cishet male friends that I had in high school would refer to me as a reverse trap.
Oh,
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Knowing that I was a gay man as well, and then they would
Yeah.
it's just like
See, I know a lot of people think it's a slur, and that is completely right, but I do like to reclaim it sometimes.
yeah.
But that's all I'm gonna say.
That's discourse for another podcast. I think no.
Indeed.
Should we go around and say our
Let's get
final
some
thoughts on the film and our ratings?
Yeah.
We're doing them out of 10, right? I can't remember what I did last week.
Yeah, we did out of 10.
You can
Natalie
rate
always
things
goes last.
however you want to.
Okay.
The decimal system is a social
I mean, I feel like
construct, baby.
for me personally, I just rate it out of 10 because that's easy numbers.
Yeah, no,
Like,
definitely.
I have liquid brain,
10.
remember? Liquid brain can't do
Liquid
numbers.
brain, yeah.
Liquid brain.
Right, Emily, who's going first?
Alex, could you please decant your liquid brain into an opinion on the film?
Okay, right. My overall opinion on the film. Obviously, I love it.
Yeah.
Right, I suggested it. Watching it for the podcast because I hadn't seen it in like a year or something. But watching it for this, there were bits where Ryan kind of went yikes, and it made me go, oh yeah, shit, yikes.
Yeah, no.
I hadn't really noticed before because I just kind of watched it as like, oh yeah, musical.
Yeah.
I obviously love it. I think it's great. I think but as a social thing, like it's shit. But as a film, I think it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So I would probably give it like a 7, like I did last week.
Okay. Eli.
Okay, so I think I definitely agree with Alex, and I think if you're aware that it's problematic and you're watching it just for the kind of feel good, knowing that that's bad stereotypes and stuff like that, it's a brilliant musical. It's a brilliant kind of feel good, funny, like you say, kind of camp musical. It's great, and I love watching it. But obviously I'm educated on why it's problematic, so I can enjoy it without having problematic views, if you will. So I think for me personally, it's a great movie. I would watch it a million more times. And obviously, like we said, it has negative stereotypes attached to it. So I think if you're going to watch it, it's best to bear that in mind.
Yeah, you need to know that before you
and
watch it.
Kind of know that it's going to be offensive to you in some way if you're an LGBT person, because it does have those negative stereotypes in it. But I think
out of 10,
out of 10, I think I would probably give it a 9, just because of enjoyment factor.
Do you know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm agreeing with you. I'm gonna give it a 9.
I was gonna say, Alex, 7 seems low.
To be honest, I'm agreeing. I was trying to be I was trying to be inclusive and it's.
Listen, we're all here to express.
You can't help what you like, as well.
I fucking love it.
You're allowed to like it.
9.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're allowed to like it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Is if you're aware of the problematic nature of it, you're allowed to like it as long as you're not liking it for the problematic reasons.
Yeah.
As long as you're not
I think that's where I kind of came from. I didn't really until watching it this time. I'd never really sat and thought about it being problematic. And then I watched it this time, and I was like, bruh. But yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Okay, Matthew Ledger.
Right. So you already know I hate musicals. Just I didn't really get anything out of it. I didn't get any enjoyment out of it. I didn't feel entertained. I was getting bored and looking at my phone and being like, "Is it over yet?" So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Oh shit! That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, fair enough, mate.
That's how I felt with Paris is Burning. So I totally understand.
That's fair.
Except obviously that was more educational. So it's enough.
Okay, I guess I'll go next because Natalie has to go last.
Natalie has to go last, and that's what we're doing.
So, I mean, I have kind of complicated feelings on it because while I was watching it, for most of it, I absolutely enjoyed it. I had a smile on my face the entire time. And I'm actually I am a musical. I love musicals. I was gonna say I'm a musical gay. In the pejorative way. Yeah, is that the right pejorative? Is that the right word?
Why am I surrounded by theater gay?
Yeah, no, I'm a theater gay. That's it. Yeah, no, yeah.
I hate it. and I live with like 5 theaters. It's just it's bad.
But I will. I don't know. I like the sort of aesthetic of the film. I find sort of the gothic, almost kind of 50s aesthetic of the film really, really nice. Because in the 70s, like, there was kind of an obsession with making films that was like 50s inspired. But I will say, obviously the problematic aspects of the film kind of did bring me down on it a lot of the times. Like the whole thing about like, I before watching the film, I saw a video of 2 cops singing the song with the word transsexual in it. And I'm like, as well, like, I feel like that for me kind of embodies my problem with the film. Embodies, someone after this podcast gets popular, could somebody please make a compilation of all the fucking times I've like said a word that isn't a word but kind of means a word, you know?
I'm sure someone could do that.
But you still understand.
But no, I like musicals. I like the aesthetic of the film. I think the cinematography is great. I think the music is. I will be listening to the soundtrack, especially the opening theme and the song about the guy who didn't like his teddy or whatever the fuck. I like those songs a lot. But no, those. I like the songs. I'll probably be listening to the album of it quite a lot. And I thought it was pretty good, apart from the problematic aspects, which really do drag it down for me. So, 7 out of 10.
Interesting. It would appear that everyone has given it a rather surprisingly high rating, honestly. So I would say that the pros of this film are: it's a well shot, well choreographed film with some. It definitely has music in it. That is certainly an aspect. There are very few sets, but you don't notice it, which I think is probably a good thing because it shows that it keeps you entertained. Although I will say that I was quite bored, honestly, and I found it very difficult to follow. And it is a problematic film. I didn't actually like it that much, really, genuinely. I thought it was kind of boring as musicals go. I did not enjoy it. It was very slow to start. So I'm going to give this a troll face out of 10.
Oh.
And I'm going to explain that.
Jeez. Okay, do it.
Because troll face is a shit meme. And it was shit from the fucking start, alright? That's
Whoa, you're going hard on this film.
Oh, I mean...
Holy shit. I feel like
I totally understand that, how it would be boring for some people, and like, for Matt who doesn't like musicals, I totally understand that. And it, like you say, Natalie, it is slow to start, so you have to really make sure you enjoy slow starting things before you can go into it.
To be fair, that though, to be fair on the film, it is a film from the 70s. The 70s did that. They would have what is the fucking deal with like they have the credits at the start, and in this film, they decided that to have for the credits at the start, they had like a zoomed in mouth singing a song to you.
I liked that. I liked
Is this
that.
the right film?
That
It starts like that.
The mouth is
iconic.
It starts off with the mouth, and then it goes straight into like suburban 1950s America, and I was like, well, what is this tone shift? I don't put that at the end. What the fuck? Anyway, that's troll face out of 10. Terrible film.
Okay, well, that's our take on Rocky Horror Picture Show. As always, you can comment down below some film suggestions, but if not, we will be moving on to Eli for his film, if no one suggests anything. And Eli, I'm kind of excited to see what you pick, actually.
Okay.
So let's.
I've been
let's
given
do
a
that.
suggestion, but I can't remember what it is. But I'll let you know.
I think I remember what it was called. Was it Call Me by Your Name?
It might have
Yes.
been.
It
Yeah,
was
no,
indeed
yeah,
Call Me
no,
by Your Name.
yeah, no. I think that would be a really fun one to watch. I'm interested to see.
I mean, the
that.
title alone is intriguing. I mean,
Yeah,
Call
no.
Me
Yeah.
by Your Name? What?
As someone who likes languages, that must be interesting to you, Natalie.
Oh yeah, fascinating. I
speaking
love
of
sentences that makes
languages.
no fucking sense.
Natalie, have you got your word of the day?
It's my
Oh,
word
shit.
of the day. I didn't really think of anything, but if you do want a word of the day, I will go for the most generic fucking word of the day words that you can ever have. This
Go.
word comes from German, and it is Backpfeifengesicht. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Germans.
Right.
Um,
Germans in the audience.
Germans.
Germans who are listening
Anyone?
represent Germany. It's one of the few countries that speaks German. Very large country. So this word means a face that you can just really slap. You know, like just.
Yeah.
Hell
Just
yeah.
that fucking you ever see you'll see someone who is actually like a fairly decent person, but their fucking face, like you just want to slap. Like, you just want to fucking
Dr.
slap.
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox is also like
He's just a dick.
he's a dick anyway. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
would
yeah,
slap
no.
him regardless of his.
Yeah,
his
no,
fucking stupid
definitely.
face.
I don't like you know who has a really slappable face? I hope he never listens to this. Ralph Seppi,
Just
the YouTuber.
say Barbara. Just say
Like,
Barbara. It's Barbara.
Yeah, like he
Remember?
makes good videos. It's just that I want to hit his face. I don't know why. It's just got a very slappable.
Just
wait, I
refer
think
to
I
him
know
as
what I
Barbara.
Yeah, no. So anyway, we are gonna go on a quick break because I need to pee again. So there'll be that Animal Crossing sound effect,
Not one.
and
hell yeah.
see you after that. Hey everyone, we're back. How's it going?
Hello, everybody.
Hello everyone. It's me,
It's
Emily
going
Beeson.
pretty
We're
good.
back.
I just have to say I am very hungry.
Oh,
feel
me
like-
too.
Too.
Food time soon.
Imagine being hungry, lol. Imagine having having the need to consume energy in order to
Imagine having-
survive.
Imagine having a digestive system.
Imagine having-
Yeah, I just drink people's blood. That's how I sustain.
Is this like an alien stand-up comic? It's like, or no, a vampire stand-up comic. Imagine having to eat food. Am I right? I mean, crazy.
Imagine only having 5 senses like that. Imagine only being able to see the visible light spectrum. It's horrible, man.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna enter the question zone, and
question zone.
and then we're
Question zone.
gonna wrap up for this week.
Oh.
Because we've actually been talking for a surprising amount of time.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and,
felt like it was shorter than last week, but I think it's just flown better. Than
Yeah,
last
no,
week. It's just
yeah, because
bring
you know,
together all of that.
you kind of like get into the. I think
We got into the rhythm
the
of it.
episodes will get better and better because we'll get into the rhythm, like very
Yeah.
very much so. So I'm trying to find where I fucking. Right, okay. I need to make be more prepared as a host. I feel like that's the main thing I'm learning because
God,
But I mean,
Emily.
yeah,
we
no.
all
Makes my
need to,
damn
you know,
head.
take some responsibility and be prepared.
I mean, this is
It's
the
not
third
all on
time
you.
we were gonna be recording it, and it's basically all my fault. So I mean,
I mean, it's fine.
It's a bit my
like,
fault as well.
but
like no one was completely ready yesterday. I don't think. And then like it's fine. Things
Oh
happen.
yeah, I
life
don't know what you're talking
happens.
about. I was fucking born ready.
you're raring to go.
I was born ready, bitch.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in the question zone. I'm first gonna go for Twitter questions. I asked on Twitter, give me subjects for the podcast. I got 2 responses, and I'm gonna read them out, and then we'll move over to Alex's friends who asked us some very interesting questions as well.
Yeah.
So at the Sean Scullion, or Farmer Sean on Twitter,
We love him.
has
Farmer
asked.
Sean.
I was asked a
Oh, hail
few
Sean.
questions. I feel like one of these is a reference to last week, but I can't remember anything we said during the recording. So,
That's valid.
okay. So the first thing is a quarantine watch list. What is basically he's wondering what you would recommend, what media you would recommend to people to consume during this nightmarish time.
Yeah, I agree. Unis Annis is definitely worth watching
On YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, Unis Annis, Mark and Ethan's channel. It's just It's
gonna
a good time.
disappear in just under
yeah,
7
get
months.
watching because it's gonna disappear. You know.
They're gonna delete all of it in just under 7 months. So
Oh, it's called
Yeah.
1 year in Latin. Oh, of course.
I'm gonna
That's
say
what it means,
I'm gonna see the basic thing, and I think you can all predict what I was gonna say for games. Animal Crossing is out, everyone.
yeah.
If you have a
Woo!
Nintendo
I'm
Switch,
getting my Switch tomorrow.
Oh, shit, yeah!
Hell yeah!
and
Also, if
there's
if
a
you're
new
into gaming, play Fortnite.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
play Fortnite. Yeah, no, it's fine. Don't
Play
worry.
Fortnite.
Like there's going to be an update for Animal Crossing tomorrow, with some new stuff that is being added to the game, like bushes, and
my God.
there's going to be this wedding day where you can get the 2 llamas to marry, and there's going to be an update to the shop, and there might be Brewster back,
You can get
and
the
gyroids.
llamas to marry-
Yeah, gyroids, everyone,
The
gyroids.
The blue llama in my head canon is a trans man.
Yes, definitely. No, they're both trans.
Yeah, they're both trans.
No.
There is actually a
Gyroids,
couple of
everyone.
it was
What's a
implied that there's
gyroid?
a couple of
Someone
trans
please
characters.
explain.
Gyroids.
I actually can't explain what a
Things-
gyroid
There
is.
is no way to. They're like sentient fire hydrants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something. And they're different colors. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of
not the
nightmarish.
question
They're based
yet.
on Japanese folklore. They're actually quite interesting. But I can't explain them very well. Has anyone else got any stuff to recommend?
I
I
mean,
would
like,
recommend the a little book, the Communist Manifesto,
I think everyone should be reading that right now.
written by Friedrich Engels, and I think it's an interesting read. I think you should give it a go.
I feel
Can I
like you
just
might.
recommend?
Yeah.
I recommend watching whatever your favorite film is because it like boosts all the happy brain chemicals.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
Happy brain chemicals.
Also, remember to shovel some kiwis down your throat. Because
Right?
that has a
That's liquid
severe
brain.
effect.
and you don't
Am I
end up with
right,
liquid
fellow
brain.
humans?
Because if you don't eat, you die, right?
Yeah,
How does
maybe.
that work? Yeah, so go do that.
Right. Also,
Next
the
question.
other question that Farmer Sean asks is simply green tea. I feel like that's a reference to last week where I
Green
said
tea question.
ask us green tea.
Oh, me and Natalie were talking on the group chat about tea and how weird it is that people put milk in tea.
Yeah, I find
He's
that
very
annoying.
strange.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Oh
Are
yeah,
we talking
don't
about milk
put
and
milk
green
in
tea?
green tea. Or
No, don't put milk in any
in
tea.
tea. In
Alright?
tea, full
Don't.
stop. It's
Stop
weird.
putting milk in
It's
tea.
fucking weird.
Don't
And
put it
then
in
we
black
were
tea.
discussing that green tea is better than black tea.
Yes.
Oh, green tea is
Yeah,
green tea is the best thing. I've actually been drinking. I've been meditating, guys, and I've also been drinking a lot of green tea. Like genuinely though, I
Yeah,
have.
so
Sound like
noticed.
Donald
I love
Trump.
green tea.
Yeah, no, that was a Donald Trump impression, kind of. I
Donald
mean,
Trump gets woke. He
yeah, no,
becomes
Donald Trump gets woke.
He
That's
becomes
a great
like the
title.
classic millennial stereotype.
You could have the thumbnail be Donald Trump with a purple wig on and glasses, and it says
Dude,
Donald
there's
Trump gets
too
woke.
many thumbnail ideas here. You've
There's like
gotta go
3
one
different
of them,
ones for this
Jesus.
video.
What?
I still think Liquid Brain is good. 'cause we
Liquid
all
Brain
have
is good.
liquid
Yeah, no,
brain.
Liquid
definitely.
Brain.
It relates to all of us.
Okay, yeah, no, Liquid Brain is definitely the theme of this podcast as well.
Someone
Liquid
get
Brain.
Taze on Day to record a version of Chocolate Brain called Liquid.
Chocolate Brain!
Call it Liquid
Brain.
Call it Liquid Brain.
Instead of Chocolate Brain,
It's
it's
about
Liquid Brain.
it's about having liquid brain.
I think
What if
this
you had
one
a
is.
gaseous brain?
Liquid
Oh yeah, no,
Brain.
gaseous brain. No, I was thinking of that as well. This one's for Alex. Yangi Young on Twitter asks why I'm the funniest person on the planet.
I actually hate him.
Yeah,
I
no.
actually
For everyone in the audience, Alex's fiance.
Fiancé.
I love that word.
Oh,
I love that
shit.
word. Is Yangi Young. That's his actual name.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, first
that's
name
very
Yankee,
well
second name Ryan.
Um.
The
Yeah.
answer is he's not. I am. And, he-
Are we gonna go to war with the podcast that Ryan's on? I feel like that
Yeah.
has to
Oh,
happen.
wow, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
yeah, fuck you,
Yeah.
Thought Chronicles. Fuck you, Priven.
Can't wait till the diss track starts dropping. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
no,
great.
that's gonna be when it gets real spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, in actual, I can't really say that because I was literally like on the group chat and off the fork the other day, like, can I come on your podcast?
You're gonna get called out. You're gonna get called out on the podcast.
No, yeah, no.
We're encouraging that.
By the way, next week we will be eventually having guests on. It is quite hard when you're a 5-person podcast and there's a lot of takes in general. But we are if you want to be on the podcast and you want so, or even if you want to promote something, just tell us in the comment. I'm also thinking
you-
about
if
getting
you're
this
a
pod.
Random person who we don't know, just come on in.
Just come
we
on
don't
in.
we don't even vet people. Just
I reckon
anarcho-capitalists hit us
That we
up.
should
Come on.
Have Ethel as like the host for 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think that'd be good.
Okay, so we have some questions from Alex's friends. Do you want to read them out, Alex, or should I?
I can if you want.
Okay, did you do you? I don't know what that was.
That was like a Mr. Beastie kind of thing.
You do
It was Mr. Beast.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
I'm Mr. B6!
Right, so my friend asked if we could sort of discuss like coming to terms with sexuality as a non-binary person.
Mhm. Well, that's
And like the language and all that kind of stuff associated with like sexuality and that kind of thing.
I think I'm a non-binary trans woman. That's a lot of labels in one spaghetti. But you know, like
You a beautiful spaghetti.
yeah, like whatever. And I'm also bi, so from my perspective, like I and this is like probably like a weird thing to admit, I don't think about sexuality that much because it's just like, oh, I'm attracted to that person. Okay, cool. And then that's kind of it for me. But I guess that it's more complicated if depending on the label that you go by, because again, I believe that I believe that gender is a social construct, actually. I think that it's gonna be kind of hard for I'm not like attracted to men, women, non-binary people. I'm attracted to the person most of the time.
Yeah.
So is that not just pansexuality then?
Well, yeah, I guess.
No,
I
'cause
mean,
that's where I'm at.
yeah, no. So I mean, I don't really know the difference between pansexuality and bisexuality. Maybe I should have done.
Bisexual is attraction to two genders. So
Right.
that could be male and female, male and non-binary, female and non-binary. But pansexual is the attraction to human.
Yes.
Damn,
That's
surely.
it.
Wait, isn't that homosexual though? Because like, I mean, homo.
That's
doesn't mean
that's a
human.
good one. That's a good one. Natalie, write that down. Write that down. Write that down in the
That
joke
is-
book.
You got me there. Yeah.
So we're all technically homosexual.
Everyone is homosexual because everyone is attracted. Well, hopefully, I hope everyone's attracted. I mean, I don't know.
I hope that's all.
I hope so, or at
I
least
have an
they
interesting
think.
story about the sexuality being a trans person thing, right? So like when I was younger and I was still living as a girl, I just assumed that I was straight and attracted to men because heteronormativity and that. And then when I went to high school and I started figuring shit out, I was a bisexual woman, and then I thought I was gender fluid, and when I thought I was gender fluid, I also felt that I was pansexual, and then I realized that I was a man, and then ever since that point, I've been living as a man because
Yeah,
that
no.
was finally it. Like
Matt, we've had the
finally
exact
came to
same
terms.
timeline for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Matt, I
that's
really liked
exactly
hearing about
me.
your transgender journey. It was really nice. No,
That's what a journey.
yeah, no, but no, that's interesting because I would say that my identity has also changed with sort of like, because like I would say I'm in like a sort of, if I was gonna make a graph, it's like I'm mostly attracted. On most occasions I've been attracted to men, but the sort of attraction thing for me, I'd say I don't really go by the term demisexual, but I think I more get attracted to people when I've been around them for a longer amount of time as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like for me physical attraction isn't really a big part for me ever. So it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting in a way. I don't know.
See, for me, it's like as I see a person and I go, I must marry them now. That's the crush is never
Yes,
going
that
to
is
end, and that is consistent with I have the same like 4 crushes. They haven't gone away. They're probably going to be with me till the day I die, and do you know what? That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine.
You're right.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
definitely. Yeah. Alex,
I
I'd be
mean-
interested for you. Oh, you were just about to speak.
So,
Sorry. That was...
sorry. Yeah, no, my kind of like sexuality and sort of identity as a person has been an interesting journey. So when I was a young person, I thought I was a man.
Right.
Like I'm talking like 7.
Right.
And I didn't understand the whole like, cis girls have this bits and cis boys have that bits, and yay. I didn't get that. That wasn't something that entered my tiny little brain. So I was just like, I'm a boy, but obviously like what I'm not. And then as I started to like understand the whole science and the stuffs
Yeah.
about like cisgender people, I was
Yes.
like, oh shit, no, I wasn't born a boy, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh shit, I'm a trans boy. And then I was like, no, I'm not a trans boy, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, I'm just a woman. And then I was like, no, I'm not just a woman.
This is
These
so
transgender
racist.
journeys, holy shit.
I know. And then
God.
I don't even know when this happened really, but I was like, oh fuck, I like proper hate myself, yay. And then I was like, I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to someone online anyway, and they were like, "Oh, have you ever like looked into this?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, that might be me." And then I looked into it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck, hi." And
Hell.
in terms of sexuality, I've always been a bit gay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's,
and I
that's
still
fine.
am.
That's all
Haven't
we
we
need.
all?
I'm
I feel
still
like
am.
that's
I'm
good.
marrying
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
We all on occasion been a bit gay.
Yes, true.
Like the fact that I'm marrying a cis man is very
yeah.
interesting for me. Like I never really expected that. Don't quite know how that happened, but here we are.
Yeah, no.
When I
yeah, so I
figured
don't know.
out that I was gay, I had to break up with my girlfriend that I was with. at the
Holy
time
shit!
Oh mate.
By telling her I think I'm gay, I'm really sorry.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
It just hit me like a ton of bricks because before I was like, I'm a woman and I'm attracted to men, but that doesn't feel right because that's straight.
Yeah, no.
And so
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
I figured out that I was a man and that I was attracted to men, it was like, oh, okay, it makes
Yeah, no.
sense.
I think this kind of links into the next question. This is going to be the last question, and then we're going to end the pod. But good. I don't know who asked this, Alex, but good shit
It was
to watch
Stan
as
as well, I think.
Okay, good shit to watch as queer people. We're talking. What Matt was talking about there. It kind of gets explored in a ContraPoints video called Shame that I thought was very interesting and very eye-opening to me about my own sexuality. And I feel like it's a very important YouTube video. And Natalie from ContraPoints is not right all the time. I'm not gonna be a ContraPoint stan here,
No.
but that video is really good. I really recommend that.
Yeah, no, that video really helped me as well with like realizing that I've always really felt the pressure of heteronormativity.
Yeah.
And especially now, like, the longer I'm on T, the better I quote unquote pass, the more I feel the pressure to be attracted to women, and I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'm sorry, bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Like I get that as well. Like I think that's why I thought I was bi, and I really wanted to like women because I was like, oh, it'll make me feel more like not more like a guy really,
Well,
but like
you'll be able to blend in with all
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
men
exactly.
around you better.
Exactly, yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? It's about
Mhm.
you wanna blend really, and like I thought I liked girls, and then I realized that I was terrified of any sort of romantic or sexual engagement with
Yeah.
women, and then I realized that it wasn't just fear, it was just not appealing to me, and I just didn't
Yeah.
want to do that, and it was pressure I was putting on myself
yeah.
to
with you.
want to do that, and then it's like I when I realized I was gay, it wasn't a surprise to anyone, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
I feel
Surprise for any of my friends.
like I feel really comfortable in identifying as a trans guy and as a gay guy, but like this might sound like a really weird thing to say, but like going back to like things that you should watch as like queer people is what really helped me kind of with my sexuality and stuff is this is just a really bizarre, but it's weird how things can affect you in different ways. But like movies like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocketman really kind of have, it's like it's a big movie and it's like kind of more mainstream, but it does kind of explore their lives and their sexuality a bit. It's not amazing, but like I'm sure we can maybe talk about that another time.
God, we should watch those films.
Yes,
I've
but
not seen
that's what I was
either of
thinking.
them.
Yeah, me neither.
But
Bohemian Rhapsody is
for
brilliant.
me, like
That's a
movie
controversial.
definitely
It's
helped me.
good though.
Like those movies definitely helped me to
It's
come to
crap.
terms with my sexuality. Seeing like people who made it in their life, I guess, and them being queer as such. It's like it's like kind of it's empowering and inspiring,
Mhm.
and
Is there
that's
tea
what
about
helped me.
Bohemian Rhapsody that I don't know? Then?
Bryan Singer's a pedophile and he directed the film.
Oh well, no, it's just
I
poorly
didn't know
edited.
that.
It's just very poorly edited. It's like constant cuts, like constantly. Like my eyes are just tired. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh boy,
That's
please come on.
fair. To be, I can't even remember when I saw it. I saw it when it came out. God knows when that was.
Yeah,
Like
don't
last
remember.
year, something like that.
I'll
Yeah,
say
so-
that a film that does that has done, well, a TV series that has done that for me is Westworld, which is really a weird thing to say, but it's not even got any sort of queer representation in it, but the idea of kind of breaking off your loops in a way and sort of coming to terms with who you are and kind of breaking just the chain of sadness, because that's what influenced me in many ways to come out as trans, because like a lot of the time I was just a self-hating person who hadn't come out yet, and I was just like, oh god, and then I came out as trans and I'm a lot happier now, I'd say.
That's good. And like what I said about it's like strange how things can impact your life and kind of change your life in ways and impact you as a person. And like TV shows and anything, and it doesn't even have to, like you say, it's like not even just queer media, but like or LGBT media. It's all media in general.
Yes.
Like I feel like people don't realize the importance of TV shows and movies and other media in impacting someone's life.
Yeah,
and that's why the good comes with the good, and it's really good, but also the bad, it comes with the bad as well. And
exactly.
That's where it's, problematic. But,
like as a person, this is probably controversial, I'm not sure, but Ruby Rose
as a person.
really like, no, as in like Ruby Rose as a person, like
okay.
really. Sorry,
I thought you were saying
really...
like speaking as a human, right?
A real human person. No, but yeah, no, Ruby Rose really like helped me kind of come to terms with where I was at, and watching a lot of stuff that she's in, like kind of helps.
I feel like I can't really give anyone a recommendation. Because I'm always known. I've always known, so I'm like, I have the very generic, boring, binary experience of always knowing.
But I mean, it's good to compare experiences, because especially like our audience will be very mixed in their experiences. So to hear different experiences is definitely good. To
know what's interesting?
Just watch a load of hentai, guys. That's what you should do, right? Like relate your experience to hentai. That's a really healthy thing
full
to
circle.
do. It has come full circle. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'll end the podcast in a second, but I would also recommend there's loads of really good trans YouTube channels, and that they helped me come out. I've always spiritually, and this is a weird way of saying it, spiritually known that I was trans,
Me too.
but like I didn't have the words or way to describe it, and the sort of societal pressure told me not to. So it's like it's complicated. So
like for me, like
it's quite shite.
It is shite. Like before I came out, I literally told myself I wasn't allowed to be trans. I literally told myself I didn't have an option. I had to be a cis woman, and it's really unhealthy when you think about it. And it's like, so that's not a good time. But I'm glad I did come out, because obviously my life is a lot different now, and I can't think about where I would be. I honestly don't know if I would be here if I hadn't, which is dark, but it's a bit heavy, but it's real. It's very real.
So I think that's a good way to end the podcast. I mean, we've talked about some very interesting and deep stuff. Thank you. Was it Sam who sent those?
Yeah.
No, thank you for those. Those were really good questions. And make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Remember to share.
It's like
Share
it's like
this with your friends. Send it to all the Discord servers, all of the group chats. All right. To remember to hit the notification bell so that you know.
yeah,
when-
no, definitely.
And
no, it's
remember
on
the
the same day
hashtag,
anyway.
whatever it was, I can't remember.
I can't remember
myself.
it either.
Hashtag
But get Red Legends
DGRT.
to sponsor us.
Yes. It was
Yeah, no.
hashtag GRTTTSG, I think it was. I think that's right.
Yeah, no.
Um,
The
so
Tran Gang
hashtag-
Twitter account will be up soon as well. I haven't made it yet. I'm just a lazy person.
Yes.
So
Do it right now, Emily. God damn.
anyway, if you enjoyed this podcast, leave a comment. And like
If you didn't enjoy it,
Leave
go die.
questions.
yeah, no,
leave
leave questions.
questions
And
suggestions
I
and-
hope this is and if you are still in the closet, I feel like I watched listened to a lot of like podcasts about being trans while I was still in the closet. Just do what feels right for you, and depending on your circumstances, do whatever. Anyway,
Just dismantle the closet.
Stay
with
safe.
a-
And we
Yeah.
love you.
and we love you. We do. Yeah. Okay. So let's go around and let me say everyone's names, then you can shout out your Twitters and your stuff you're doing. All right. Okay. Alex.
My Twitter is alex.vegan, and I have a YouTube channel called Eloise Music, which you should all subscribe to because I'm fantastic, basically.
Definitely. I've been actually listening to a lot of your stuff, and I really, really enjoy it.
Thanks.
So and Elijah.
My Twitter is @SpaceboyElijah. You can follow me there. I just kind of retweet random stuff, and it's a good time.
Matthew.
My Instagram is corrupt.by.design. That's it.
Natalie.
My Instagram handle is @fake with a Y.
Could you say that again
Because-
because you cut out?
Shit. My Instagram handle is the fake Natalie with a Y because I am cool. I am cooler than the other Natalies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Why? All right, just
You're
go
right.
follow me.
Emily,
Do
what are
it.
yours, my dude?
Well, @egirlemily on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel that I don't post to. But you can check that out if you want, and I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch again, so Basic Beast on. Go check that out. Anyway, thank you for listening to Tran Gang Podcast.
Bye.
And bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye!